Hello class, this is a video to show you what is expected in the documentary assignment that will be taking up the next few weeks of class. What you will end up doing is writing a documentary of at least 3 pages in 2-column script format. This script will be worth 150 points. To get this script done, you'll have to interview at least 3 people that are connected to the subject in one way or another. As we are in COVID times, I don't expect you to meet people in person, but you do need to record the audio of the interviews. You do not have to record video. You can probably do this on your iPhone or use Zoom or something else to record interviews with these people. Email interviews are not the same, as people will edit what they write and do not talk the same way that they write in an email when they're answering questions. Having said that, I know you can't always get the person you want to meet with you one-on-one, even in the virtual one-on-one. So I do allow one of the primary 3 interviews to be email. If you are doing more than 3 interviews, then the other ones can be email if you prefer. The reason I don't like emails, as I said, is because people will edit what they say, and it's really your job as a documentary script writer to edit it for them before we put it into video form, to take what they say and find the best parts, the best sound bites, and put that in your script to tell your story that way with their words. Once you have done the interviews, you will have to transcribe all of the answers in the interview into log sheets. This assignment is worth 50 points. So the entire documentary and log sheets is worth 200 points. This takes a long time and it's a little tedious, but it'll make you intimately familiar with what was said in the interviews, and the more you know the subject, the easier it'll be to write, and it'll make writing the script move a lot faster. So the time you spend transcribing will pay off when you get to the writing phase of the script. I do have examples of how the log sheets should look, and I will show you those in the near future in a separate video. Organize the structure of the documentary and tell a compelling story. I don't want you to take the interviews and just put them in order and copy and paste it into the script. You need to do the structure activities number 6 to create the structure, and then you'll figure out what sound bites should go in the beginning, what sound bites should go in the middle, what sound bites should go in the end. Depending on the subject matter, you will have a different structure, so you'll figure that out as you go through it. Okay, so as we mentioned, choose the order of your sound bites to make this a compelling story, and then you'll paste them into the audio column of your script. Let me skip down. Add B-roll that supports the subject and mood to cover the talking heads and make this visually interesting. This is a video, even though it's a script. You want to make sure you're including the video cues to make this interesting to watch. B-roll can be anything from your subject matter doing their job to going through life, or just other things that have to do with what they're talking about. If they're talking about finding a cure for COVID, then you might have B-roll of a lab and petri dishes and people getting tested, or whatever supports the subject matter and has the right mood depending on what you're doing. If it's something much less scientific, you might have something a lot more abstract, but still works with the subject matter and the style of your documentary. Every time you introduce a new interviewee, we need to identify them with a lower third graphic. You would just write graphic lower third, Robert Locker, professor of TV and film, or whatever their title might be. Okay, so if I'm talking about teaching television and film, this would be my title. If I'm talking about being a parent, then my title would just be parent, or parent of whatever the subject matter might be and why you're talking to me. Okay. definitely add music as desired to create the feeling you're going for. You don't have to worry about copyrights if you want to use some famous song, say you're going to use it. Just like with the B-roll, the sky's the limit, the budget is the limit because you're not actually producing it. So you can just pretend you can afford the copyrights to a Beyonce song or the copyrights to a, Taylor Swift or whoever you want to use. Bruce Springsteen, I don't know, Queen, whatever it is. Pretend you have the money to get the copyrights for that song. Or you can use more generic, upbeat, light rock or something like that if you're not so specific. But do fill it in. We want to make sure we can see and visualize and hear your entire documentary from your script. These are mini documentaries that be a lot quicker, 3 pages to 5 pages, 3 to 5 minutes, or actually mini. It go as long as you want, but do think of it as more of a news feature, a mini documentary that would go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. It's probably about all we have time for you to accomplish in the next few weeks. All right. If you have any questions, as always, email me or post them on the Q&A discussion board so that I can answer them for everybody.